Every day, first responders face unimaginable challenges, often putting our own well-being on the line. But what if there's a way to not just survive, but to truly thrive beyond that trauma? Today, we're going to uncover the path to fulfilling and resilient life after the sirens fade. Now, in this deep, moving episode, which I titled The Path of Thriving, How First Responders Can Live Fully Beyond Trauma, we're going to shine a light on the incredible journey of first responders as they navigate life after trauma. First responders are the backbone of our safety and well-being, right? We often face intense and life-altering situations. Well, bravery and dedication are unwavering. The emotional and psychological toll can be immense. So today I want to dive into some essential shifts from merely surviving each day to truly surviving, to reclaiming control and finding meaning beyond the trauma. So I'm going to explore 3 points today: the shift from surviving to thriving, the power of connection and support systems, and embracing post-traumatic growth. And then, as always, I'm going to give you a great exercise that you can do to begin to move forward and create the life that you want. So whether you're a first responder seeking ways to heal and grow, or you're a family member supporting a loved one, or even just someone passionate about the well-being of those who protect us, this episode offers compassionate guidance and actionable steps to move you beyond trauma and embrace a life filled with purpose and connection. Welcome to Shields Down, Healing for First Responders, the podcast supporting those on the front lines as they navigate PTSD and trauma. Each episode brings stories of resilience, expert insights, and tools for recovery, offering hope and a path forward. So put your shield down, reclaim your strength, and remember, you're not alone. So point number 1, the shift from surviving to thriving. Now, trauma often puts us as first responders in survival mode, right? Where the focus is on getting through each day. But when you thrive, it's about reclaiming control of your life, about embracing growth and finding meaning beyond that trauma. Now, I told you before, this is something I was forced to do in losing my son. I've been forced to do this numerous times in my career where I've been faced in a situation and maybe had trouble sleeping at night, or something got brought up. So I had to find meaning beyond that. Why was I put in that situation? Where did I need to grow from this? Right? Because the shift requires intentionally mental, emotional, and physical health practices. You got to be intentional. You can't just sit back and say, you know what, I kind of hope that this is going to go away with time, because oftentimes it doesn't, and it stacks. Now, when you want to begin to understand survival mode versus thriving mode, right? Survival mode is a state where, as first responders, we get overwhelmed by trauma. We all often operate on that autopilot mode, right? This mindset's focused on just making it through the day, right? Making it through the shift. But often it's driven by anxiety, hypervigilance, and even emotional numbing. But you know what? The good thing is it's a protective response, right? So it's going to help you cope in the short term. And that's what we forget. We forget sometimes that we're like, oh, I'm feeling like this. You know, it's fine to feel like this. It's fine to have a little bit of anxiety, have a little bit of a hypervigilance and some emotional numbing. You're going through something right now. But it's for the short term. But it's going to limit you for the long-term personal growth unless you begin to do something about it. Now, thriving, in contrast, is about reclaiming your life and shifting from simply reacting to life changes to actively shaping your experiences. It allows you to move beyond the trauma, focus on healing, and embrace that personal growth rather than just enduring those hardships. Now, when you reclaim control through intentionality, this is when you begin to take back control of your life, right? the transition from surviving to thriving isn't something just happens passively, right? You have to deliberately, intentionally make the effort to move your life into that next phase, right? This means taking back control over your mental, emotional, and physical health. In survival mode, you may feel that you're at the mercy of the trauma. But when you're a thriver, this demands you take steps towards healing and self-care. And this shift begins with understanding that your life is within your control, right? Even when things feel overwhelmed. It involves prioritizing recovery, seeking support, and consciously deciding how you want to navigate your journey. Oftentimes in my life, there's a phase where I need to move into. And I'm not going to let what I'm currently going through stop me from continuing to intentionally move my life into a thriving lifestyle. When you can embrace growth and meaning beyond that trauma, this is where you step up to that next level, right? Thriving after trauma isn't just surviving, right? We can all survive. You've made it through that incident. And you're moving forward into that next phase of your life. But are you doing it successfully, or are you just doing it, right? When you can find meaning and purpose beyond the pain, that's going to shift deeply, and it's going to help you transform into that higher self, right? Trauma can often leave individuals feeling disconnected from themselves, right? But then when you begin to use personal growth and you begin to explore how the experiences can inform a deeper sense of purpose, you can redefine what it looks like beyond PTSD. Like I've said to you before, when I went through my traumatic experience, you often have to find things. You have to find why this happened. And that sometimes is creating meaning for yourself, because what it means to me and what an event means to me is going to be different than what an event means to you or somebody else. A growth mindset fosters resilience, right? And it's going to help you reframe that trauma, not as something that permanently has limited you, but as a catalyst for becoming stronger, for becoming more self-aware, for becoming more purpose-driven in both your personal and professional life. You use it as a tool to move into that next phase. But sometimes we get stuck in that battle alone. And isolation can totally and increasingly intensify the effects of this trauma. So you want to build that nurturing, strong support system, right? Whether it's peers, family, therapy, support groups, whatever it is, it can make a significant difference in your recovery. Now, as first responders, we thrive when we feel understood, when we feel connected, supported by those who truly get it, right? Even in events or situations, I know that I feel understood when I'm dealing with someone and they understand what I'm talking about. They get it. And I hope you, my brothers and my sisters, get it. Right? Don't isolate yourself. Isolates can exasperate the psychological and emotional toll of trauma, particularly in first responders who are often conditioned to handle stress alone. But when you withdraw from others, this may experience that heightened sense of loneliness, depression, anxiety, and it's going to make it harder to process, right? You may feel things like, man, nobody cares about me. How am I supposed to move forward from this? Nobody wants to help. But then you lack that external perspectives, right? You lack that feeling, and it's going to lead to that distorted thinking, right? We want to help you to understand that being around people, getting the help you need is a great thing. It's going to help you become a better person. It's going to help you become a better officer or firefighter or EMS support staff, like whatever it is that you do that you feel is your first responder calling, I'm talking to you. There's so many people out there that help. And I hope and I trust that what I'm doing is giving you a little sense of help throughout this. Now, connection is a fundamental part of the human experience. We're supposed to be connected with other people. Now, feeling understood and validated by others who have faced similar challenges can be very incredibly healing, right? And these support systems are going to provide you with that shoulder to lean on, right? That they create that sense of a shared experience, and it's going to reduce those feelings of isolation. But my friends, you have to connect with those people. Going through a situation and telling people you're fine when you truly know you're not is not going to get you to that level. You have to open up. And I know it's hard to do. I know it's hard, but for your personal growth, it's something that you need to take that step into. And you want to create that and keep that. Right? There are people around you. I've said that before. There are people around you that want to help. That's why I'm here. Right? I have this, you call it a bug, right? A bug in me that wants to just give as much knowledge, give as much support as I can to you, my friend. Because I've gone through similar experiences. Maybe not exactly similar, but I've gone through times of trials and I made it out the other side. And that's why I want to show you how to make out the other side too. Now, when you can begin to embrace post-traumatic growth, this is where positive psychological change can occur after enduring those challenges. Even while trauma is undoubtedly painful, it can also provide you with opportunities of personal growth. So you have to begin to understand what post-traumatic growth is as a transformational process. Right? And all it really is, to simple it down, is the positive psychological shift that can occur after and experience significant trauma. That's what it is. Now, we often face high stress and traumatic situations, but when you begin to look for opportunities and find opportunities for personal development in the aftermath of the experiences, this is what's going to push you. It's important to recognize that post-traumatic growth is not minimizing your trauma or pretending that it wasn't painful, right? Rather, it's a process of embracing the struggle and allowing it to foster resilience, self-discovery, and new understanding of life's potential. I firmly believe that we never go through an experience that we can't handle. And once you handle this experience, you work through it, you become that person, you know you've grown from it, you're going to be faced with another challenge. But the challenge is going to be bigger than the one that you made it through. Because we're always trying to strive to get better. And once you've gone through an experience, once you've seen something, maybe you begin to reevaluate your priorities. Maybe you begin to deepen your application of your relationships. Maybe you uncover an inner strength that was previously unknown. Whatever it is, these things are going to change your life, but you have to look for them. Now, when you shift from that surviving to thriving, this is crucial, right? Trauma challenges the core beliefs that we feel about the world, about our safety, and even ourself, right? These challenges can open a door for growth when you're willing to engage in this self-reflection, when you're willing to look at it from a different light. So instead of focusing solely on survival, right, you can begin to see your trauma as a catalyst for that transformation. Now, the shift in mindset doesn't happen overnight. I know people, we want a quick fix. We want a visa lifestyle. But it doesn't happen. You always have to pay back if you're going for that. You have to recognize that it's a growth. It's a journey. But many people who have experienced post-traumatic growth report that there's enhanced empathy, a greater sense of purpose, a newfound resilience that extends beyond the personal realm and their professional lives. the role of reflection and making meaningful in that growth is a key element to finding meaning, right? When you reflect on it, you can really interpret it, what the trauma ways can lead to a greater purpose. Sometimes it's not surface level. Sometimes you really have to go deeper into that situation and take a hard look at what you went through and how you felt and how it affected you. But this is always going to help you become to that next level. And that's what we want. We want to get over this trauma and we want to begin to move forward. So today's exercise is a gratitude and growth reflection. Very simple. So each day for the next 5 to 10 minutes a day, reflect on one challenge you faced as a responder. Write down 2 ways in which it helped you grow and develop new skills. And then additionally, write down one thing you're grateful for in your personal life. Right? This practice is going to help shift the focus from trauma to personal strength and the positives in life. And it's going to foster that thriving mindset that we're going for. So that's it for today. As I wrap up today's episode, I hope that you gain so much valuable insight into this powerful journey from merely just surviving to truly thriving beyond that trauma. Now, as first responders, I encourage you to continue to work on yourself. Continue to find that strength to embrace a life filled with purpose, connection, and personal growth. Your journey to thriving beyond the trauma is unique and deeply personal. But take that first step today. Reach out to that support network. Practice intentional self-care and embrace the opportunities for growth that lie ahead. Remember, you're not alone. There is a community here to support you every step of the way. Thank you for tuning in to Shields Down, Healing for First Responders. Remember, healing is a journey and each step forward matters. Now, if today's episode resonated with you, share it with someone who might need it. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories, insights, and tools for recovery. Together, we'll build a stronger, more resilient community. Until next time, stay safe, stay strong, and we'll see you on the next episode.